Story 1 of 10. Ben Robert Smith charged with war crimes over alleged Afghan killings. Ben Robert Smith charged with war crimes over alleged Afghan killings. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Ben Robert Smith was arrested at Sydney Airport on April 7, 2026, after arriving from Brisbane on a Qantas flight, QF515, with his girlfriend Sarah Machelin and twin teenage daughters. Robert Smith was charged with 5 counts of war crime, murder, relating to alleged killings of unarmed Afghan civilians and detainees between 2009 and 2012 in Afghanistan. The charges stem from a 5-year investigation by the Office of the Special Investigator, OSI, and the Australian Federal Police, AFP. Robert Smith was granted bail on April 17, 2026, by Judge Greg Grosjean in Sydney's Downing Centre Local Court under strict conditions, including surrendering his passport, reporting to police 3 times a week, and a $250,000 shorty. 3 soldiers have provided written evidence to prosecutors, admitting their personal involvement in executing Afghan detainees at Robert Smith's direction or complicity, and have been granted immunity from prosecution. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and SMH describe Robert Smith's arrest as a sensational and unnecessary spectacle, while news.com.au and Robert Smith's supporters argue it was a deliberate attempt to humiliate him in front of his children. Some sources, including The Guardian and SMH, suggest Robert Smith was given special treatment during his release from Silverwater, while NSW Premier Chris Minns denies this, stating that the measures were for safety reasons. The ABC and Guardian emphasize the complexity of the case and the challenges of proving the allegations beyond reasonable doubt, while Robert Smith's supporters argue the case is politically motivated and lacks sufficient evidence. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, SBS News, Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 2 of 10. UK PM Keir Starmer faces crisis over Peter Mandelson's failed security vetting and appointment as US Ambassador. UK PM Keir Starmer faces crisis over Peter Mandelson's failed security vetting and appointment as US Ambassador. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Peter Mandelson failed his security vetting clearance in late January 2025, but the Foreign Office overruled the recommendation and granted clearance. Keir Starmer appointed Peter Mandelson as UK Ambassador to the US in late 2024, despite known risks including his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Ollie Robbins, the Foreign Office's permanent secretary, was sacked by Starmer on April 16, 2026, after The Guardian revealed Mandelson's vetting failure. Starmer claimed he was not informed about Mandelson's failed vetting until April 15, 2026, despite the decision being made in January 2025. The UK Security Vetting, UKSV, recommended that Mandelson's clearance be denied due to a high overall concern, but the Foreign Office overruled this decision. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian says Starmer was told in November 2024 about Mandelson's business links with a Russian defense firm, but Starmer's statement to Parliament claimed he was not informed until April 2026. The Guardian reports that Starmer's former Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, resigned in February 2026, but the ABC does not mention this resignation in its articles. The Guardian says Starmer's former Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, was accused of applying constant pressure to the Foreign Office, but Starmer's spokesperson denied that Number 10 took a dismissive attitude towards vetting. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian and SBS News. Story 3 of 10. ACCC sues Woolworths over alleged fake prices dropped discounts. ACCC sues Woolworths over alleged fake prices dropped discounts. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The ACCC alleges Woolworths misled customers by offering illusory discounts on at least 266 products between September 2021 and May 2023 via the Prices Dropped program. Woolworths temporarily increased prices of products by at least 15% for 45 days or less before placing them on Prices Dropped promotions at prices higher than or equal to their original long-term prices. The ACCC claims Woolworths contravened its own internal guardrails for the Prices Dropped program, reducing the required price establishment period from 8 to 12 weeks to 3 to 6 weeks. The Oreo family pack was sold at $3.50 for 696 days, then increased to $5 for 22 days before being placed on prices dropped at $4.50. Woolworths phased out its prices dropped program at the end of 2024. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC say Justice O'Brien questioned whether consumers would analyse price history in detail, but Woolworths' defence argues consumers only see a genuine discount. The ACCC claims Woolworths planned price spikes before placing products on prices dropped, but Woolworths says the first price of $3.50 for Oreos was a pre-inflationary dropped price and the previous regular price was $5. Woolworths says suppliers requested cost increases in almost all cases, but the ACCC alleges Woolworths temporarily inflated prices to create a higher was price for the promotion. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, and SBS News. Story 4 of 10. Defamation Trial, Rebel Wilson vs Charlotte MacInnes over sexual harassment claims and social media posts. Defamation Trial, Rebel Wilson vs Charlotte MacInnes over sexual harassment claims and social media posts. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Charlotte MacInnes is suing Rebel Wilson for defamation over social media posts claiming MacInnes lied about a sexual harassment allegation involving producer Amanda Ghost during production of The Deb in 2023. The incident in question occurred on September 5, 2023, at Bondi Beach, where Amanda Ghost had a medical reaction to cold water and was assisted by MacInnes back to an apartment where a bath was run for her. Rebel Wilson's social media posts in 2024 accused MacInnes of retracting a sexual harassment complaint in exchange for career opportunities, including a lead role in Gatsby and a record deal with Atlantic Records. The Federal Court of Australia trial began in April 2026 and is expected to last 9 days. Charlotte MacInnes signed a $150,000 record deal with Atlantic Records in late 2025, including an $110,000 advance, after being recommended by Amanda Ghost. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC reports MacInnes admitted the bath incident was strange and bizarre but denied saying it made her uncomfortable, while The Guardian states she emphatically denied giving false statements about the bath incident entirely. Rebel Wilson's lawyers claim MacInnes told Wilson the bath incident made her feel uncomfortable, but MacInnes denies ever using those words in court testimony. The Guardian states Wilson's PR team created websites to expose Ghost as a madam, while Wilson's lawyers argue the websites were a distraction and not central to the defamation case. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 5 of 10. Albanese government announces sweeping NDIS cuts affecting 160,000 participants. Albanese government announces sweeping NDIS cuts affecting 160,000 participants. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Mark Butler announced NDIS reforms on April 22, 2026, at the National Press Club, aiming to reduce participants from 760,000 to 600,000 by 2030, cutting 160,000 people from the scheme. The NDIS cost is projected to be reduced from $70 billion to $55 billion by 2030 under the reforms. The annual growth rate of the NDIS will be reduced to 2% until 2030, down from a forecast 10.3% growth in 2025 to 26. New eligibility rules will shift participants based on functional capacity rather than diagnosis alone. The government will expand mandatory registration for providers, including those offering personal care, daily living supports, and services in closed settings. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC states that the coalition supports sensible reforms to the NDIS, while The Guardian reports that the coalition looks likely to back the proposed changes, with Ann Ruston indicating the need for more information about how the scheme will change. The Guardian reports that the Albanese government increased defence spending by $53 billion, while the ABC does not mention this specific figure but notes the contrast between cutting the NDIS and increasing defence spending. The ABC states that the Thriving Kids program is due to start rolling out in October 2026, while The Guardian mentions it is due to start in October but does not specify the year, implying it may be ongoing or delayed. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 6 of 10. US-Iran ceasefire stalemate, Strait of Hormuz ship seizures, and escalating Middle East tensions. US-Iran ceasefire stalemate, Strait of Hormuz ship seizures, and escalating Middle East tensions. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Iran's Revolutionary Guard seized 2 vessels in the Strait of Hormuz on April 23, 2026, the Panama-flagged Master of Science Francesca and the Liberia-flagged Epaminondas, claiming maritime violations. The US extended the ceasefire with Iran indefinitely after Donald Trump announced it on April 22, 2026, citing a request from mediator Pakistan. Iran demands the US lift its naval blockade of Iranian trade in the Strait of Hormuz before resuming peace talks. The US Navy Secretary John Phelan resigned effective immediately on April 23, 2026, amid the ongoing war with Iran. Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon killed Lebanese journalist Amal Khalil, 43, and wounded photographer Zainab Faraj on April 23, 2026, marking the deadliest day since the 10-day truce with Hezbollah. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states the ceasefire was extended indefinitely after Trump's announcement, while ABC suggests the extension is only buying a few days to bring Iran to the negotiating table. The Guardian reports the ceasefire was extended at the request of mediator Pakistan, while ABC implies Trump's decision was influenced by Pakistan but does not explicitly confirm it as a formal request. The Guardian and ABC both mention the ceasefire extension, but only ABC suggests it may be a strategic move to delay negotiations rather than a genuine effort to resume talks. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and news.com.au. Story 7 of 10. Upper Lachlan Shire Council suspends green bin collections due to fuel crisis. Upper Lachlan Shire Council suspends green bin collections due to fuel crisis. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Upper Lachlan Shire Council will stop green bin collections from Monday, April 27, 2026, to save fuel for essential services like road grading and red bin collection. The council covers an area with a population of just over 8,500 residents, including Crookwell, Lachlan, and Terralga. Residents will be able to drop off green waste at the tip for free during the suspension. Mayor Paul Culhane stated the council has only a 2-week diesel reserve and emphasized the need to prioritize essential services like red bin collection and road grading. The council picks up about 1,000 green bins per month, compared to 8,000 red bin collections. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC states the council has a population of just over 8,500 residents, while Newscomau states the population is 9,000 residents. ABC mentions the council covers an area with a population of just over 8,500 residents, and includes Crookwell, Lachlan, and Terralga, while Newscomau does not explicitly list these towns in the same context. This story was covered by ABC News and news.com.au. Story 8 of 10. NSW coroner refers Jackson Stacker's 2021 death to homicide squad after inquest raises unanswered questions. NSW coroner refers Jackson Stacker's 2021 death to homicide squad after inquest raises unanswered questions. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Jackson Stacker, a 25-year-old Melbourne man, died in 2021 near Byron Bay, NSW, with his remains found on August 25, 2021, under a tree in a paddock near Sleepy Hollow, Pottsville, 40 kilometers north of Byron Bay. Stacker's abandoned Toyota Hiace van was found on August 23, 2021, at a rest stop in Sleepy Hollow, with keys in the ignition and ransacked contents. A large hunting-style knife was found in Stacker's left chest area, with the handle resting on his right hand. No DNA evidence was extracted from the knife. Jackson Stacker was last seen alive on July 22, 2021, in Byron Bay, where he was described as upset and crying uncontrollably after consuming LSD. NSW State Coroner Teresa O'Sullivan recommended on April 23, 2026, that Stacker's death be referred to the NSW Police Unsolved Homicide Squad for further assessment. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states the coroner found the 2 chest wounds tend against murder because it is unlikely that Jackson would have stood still while being attacked, while the ABC does not explicitly mention this specific interpretation of the wounds. The Guardian notes the coroner could not positively establish that Jackson took his own life, whereas the ABC emphasizes the coroner found it could not be positively confirmed he took his own life, framing it as a slightly less definitive statement. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 9 of 10. Carlton coach Michael Voss defends club over Elijah Hollands' mental health incident. Carlton coach Michael Voss defends club over Elijah Hollands' mental health incident. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Elijah Hollands is a 23-year-old Carlton midfielder who was hospitalised after a mental health episode during Carlton's match against Collingwood on the 18th of April, 2026, last Thursday night. Michael Voss held a combative press conference on the 23rd of April, 2026 at Princes Park, Carlton's training ground, to defend the club's handling of Hollands' situation. Voss accused the media of bordering on bullying and stated our people have been bullied during the press conference. Hollands publicly discussed his mental health struggles 2 years ago, 2024, and has received ongoing support from Carlton, including specialists and professionals. The AFL is conducting an investigation into Carlton's decision to allow Hollands to play despite his struggles, with WorkSafe also involved in preliminary inquiries. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC mention Hollands was hospitalised after the Collingwood match, but only ABC explicitly states he is being looked after and has a strong and caring family around him, while The Age and Guardian do not provide this level of detail about his current condition. The Age and Guardian describe Voss's press conference as taking place at Princes Park, but ABC does not specify the location beyond Carlton's training ground, though Princes Park is Carlton's home venue. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and The Age. Story 10 of 10. Queensland Police recall all Glock handguns for safety testing after malfunction risk. Queensland Police recall all Glock handguns for safety testing after malfunction risk. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Queensland Police Service, QPS, is testing every service-issued Glock handgun after identifying a fault that could cause multiple shots to fire. No operational incidents involving service-issued Glock handguns have been reported. Testing is being conducted across all regions, commands, and divisions in Queensland for officer and community safety. Firearms that pass testing will be returned to service, those that fail will be removed from operational use. The fault was discovered during routine testing of the firearms. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC states the fault was identified during routine testing, while The Guardian and News.com.au describe it as discovered during proactive safety checks already underway. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and News.com.au.